welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be discussing popular books that I have not read. This has been going around BookTube and I decided that I would also film this video and discuss the popular books that I have not read. Now, I plan on doing two videos like this. I'm going to do popular books that I have not read, and then I'm going to do popular authors that I have not read. There are certain authors where there's like multiple popular books that they've written that I haven't read. So I figured, because right now my list was so long, because the problem is I don't read a lot of young adult contemporary. So those are where a lot of the popular books that I haven't read come in, and a lot of them are from the same author. So today's just going to be popular books that I haven't read, and I may have read some other popular books from that particular author. So I do have a pretty long list of books today, so let's just jump right in. So the first series I'm going to talk about is 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. I feel like this is a very popular, hyped book, but not necessarily in a good way. Like, some people love this series, some people hate this series. I happen to be on the people that hate the series. The series was just not for me. I tried reading the first one. I stopped maybe a fourth of the way through, and I do not plan on continuing on with this series. It's just not a series for me. The next series that I have not read is Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi, and I haven't read any of the books in this series. It sounds like something I would really like, but I think I need a break from dystopian. I haven't read a dystopian novel in a little while now, but like, last year or the year before, you know, when like Divergent and the Hunger Games were all coming out, I feel like all I read was dystopian novels, and I just need a little bit of a break from that specific type of subgenre or whatever you want to call it, but I do need a little break. So I think I may pick up Shatter Me in the future, because it does sound like something I would like, but right now I'm just not really feeling it. I'm such a mood reader, so I'm just not really feeling it. The next series I have is the Darkest Mind trilogy by Alexandra Bracken. I really like Alexandra Bracken's writing. I've read Passenger by her, and I'm currently reading Wayfarer. So I don't know why I haven't picked up the Darkest Mind series. It is a series that I am interested in, and I think I may in the future probably pick it up, just because I am enjoying Alexandra Bracken's writing. Next, I have a series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I love the Netflix show, and it makes me want to read the books, but I don't know why I haven't read them. They're so short. I feel like it's something I would like to read. I do enjoy children's books. I think they're fun. A lot of times they're quirky, unique, and I feel like this is going to be kind of that story, just because I know there's a little bit of difference between the story and the Netflix show, but I hear it's very similar. And so they kind of like got the atmosphere pretty right, like the mood and the tone of the series. So it is something that I do want to pick up, but as of right now, I have yet to buy them and read them. And I tried to maybe, you know what, I should see if they have them on audiobook at my public library. Success. I just borrowed The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. So it's still a series I haven't read, so I can still put it in this video, but I can now listen to it. So Next, I have Game of Thrones, or A Song of Ice and Fire. I'm honestly not sure. I know the TV show's called Game of Thrones, but I'm not sure what the book series is called. That series by George R.R. Martin, I have not read, and more than likely I will not be reading it. I've already kind of watched the show. I know it's different, I know that, but these books are quite chunky. It's gonna be quite a commitment, and honestly, like, I'm gonna be in the minority with this, but the show at sometimes it's a little too much for me. Like, I love the plot, the story, the twists, the turns, amazing. But the gore, the violence, some scenes are too much for me, and I don't necessarily know if it's in the book. And I think I've just accepted that this is going to be a book series that I am just not going to be reading. Next, kind of similar with Game of Thrones. I haven't seen the TV show for this one, but that is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. Wow, Diana Gabaldon. I probably won't be picking up this series as well. Once again, it's very chunky. I know a lot of people love this series, but I'm not really interested in it. As of right now, it is a book series that I have not read, and I don't plan on reading it anytime soon. Gosh, I have so many series, so I'm gonna try and do all my series and then kind of get into standalones. But next, I have the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard, and I've heard a lot of mixed reviews with this one, and I'm not sure if it's dystopian. I'm not really sure what kind of category it fits under, but I'm just not really interested in it. Okay, so this next book that I'm going to discuss, I'm a little disappointed that I haven't read it yet, but that is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I have seen the movie. It's an amazing movie. I loved it, so I don't know why I haven't picked up the book yet. This book is definitely on my TBR. Next book is another really popular young adult, I think it's young adult contemporary, but that is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I think it's just the whole young adult contemporary that I have trouble wanting to read. I have read a few young adult contemporary that I love, but I don't know. I don't read the synopsis and I say, oh my God, I have to read that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, I'm sure it's an amazing book, and I'm sure once I start reading it, I'll get into it and I'll really like it, but it's just not one of those books where I hear what it's about and I'm like, oh my God, I have to go pick it up right now. I have to read it. Kind of going off young adult contemporary. The next is Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. Now, I love Rainbow Rowell. One of my favorite books is Carry On. I'm sure the book is amazing. She's an amazing author. I love Fangirl, but I don't know why I've never picked it up. This is gonna be one of the few, probably young adult contemporary. This is like one of the few that I do really want to read, but I just haven't yet. And once again, the synopsis just doesn't, I'm sure it's an amazing book, but I don't read the synopsis and say, I really want to read that. But it is definitely on my TBR. Now, the next book is something that I am interested in reading. I just haven't gotten a chance to read it yet, and that is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I hear this book is phenomenal. I love the idea of it. I love the premise. I don't know too much about it, but I think it's like some sort of like, is it a treasure hunt? Or is it like a scavenger hunt through like video games? I think that's what it's about, but this is one that I really want to read. The next book I have is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. It's with a G, so is it Gillian Flynn? I'm not sure, but I hear this book is such a great psychological thriller, but unfortunately that's just not the type of book for me. I didn't watch the movie, and more than likely it's not a book that I'm going to be picking up just because it's just not really my kind of, I'm not into thrillers. I don't like being scared. I'm such a weenie. I'm a wuss, and so it's not the type of books I pick up, but it's very popular. I hear so many people talk about it, especially, I mean, it's gone down a little bit now, but when the movie just came out, like everyone was talking about the book, and once again, it's just not a popular book that I've read. Next, I have the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I'm not sure if it completely counts because I am currently reading it, but I have not read book 4, 5, and 6. So I guess it counts. And also, I have not read book 1 and 2 of the Dark Artifices series also. And obviously, I haven't read it because I haven't finished the Mortal Instruments series, but this series is just exploding everywhere, and I have not read it. I need to finish the Mortal Instruments series, but the last 2 books are so chunky, but I do need to read them. The next series I have is the Inheritance series, or the Aragon series by Christopher Paolini. Now, I don't hear too many people talk about this series as much, and I have read Aragon twice. I read Aragon back in like 2008, 2009 when the last book of the series was released and everyone was going crazy about this series. So I was like, you know, I really need to pick it up. I picked it up and I liked it, but I never continued on. And then about, I don't know, 6 months or so ago, my husband, this is his favorite series, and he decided to re-listen, like he wanted to reread it. And I was like, you know, we should probably own this series. You love this series. It's your favorite series. I need to give it a go. And I read Aragon, and it took me like 2 months to read. Oh my gosh. And honestly, like, I can't really remember what happened again. Like, I cannot read Aragon for a third time to continue on with the series. Oh my gosh. But I haven't continued on, and it is such a popular or like well-known and well-loved children's series. Okay, so next I have Allegiant by Veronica Roth. I've read Divergent and Insurgent, and I think like I had started Allegiant and I got spoiled at the end. I didn't like what I heard. I know it could still be a really good book, but we're talking about the ending to a series. It's hard to continue on because there's not that anticipation of what is going to happen. And the last 2 books I have is the second and third book in Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. Yes, so I read Daughter of Smoke and Bone a long time ago. I am halfway through Days of Blood and Starlight. Now with Laini Taylor's new book, Strange the Dreamer, I feel like I hear even more about this trilogy, like everyone is talking about. And it's usually everyone's talking about how they haven't read it and they need to read it. So yes, I am with you if you have not read this series. All right guys, well that concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was super long. There are so many books that I have not read that are so popular, and as I said, I am going to be making another video about popular authors that I haven't read. Anyways, comment down below, let me know some of the popular books that you haven't read. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!